Happy with that. You can see the stock jumping there. All right, there are 19 days left until people can begin buying health care from the government. To prepare, the Obama administration is spending piles of money to hire people that help the uninsured navigate their options. The taxpayers getting their money's worth. Here to crunch the numbers and the dollars at stake is Congressman Tim Murphy of Pennsylvania. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. So we're hearing a lot about these navigators and what they're supposed to do. And basically, you know, they're supposed to meet a family and assess their real life situation. You know, their financial situation, their needs. They're supposed to go through what programs they may be eligible for, you know, whether it's Medicaid and what tax exemptions and tax credits they might be able to get, and then help them look through their health care options and then pick the best plan. Boy, that sounds like something that would take a lot of training.
Sure, it sounds like it's a job for an insurance agent, right? But by law, it cannot be. Instead, what's happening is they're spending $67 million. It was originally supposed to be $54 million to hire people, and they cannot pay people who work in the insurance business. So I've been talking to some, and we've sent out letters asking other groups who they're hiring, what kind of credentials they're looking for, and have they done such things as criminal background checks? Will they make sure they protect records? There's a lot of things in there which we don't have full answers to yet.
Yeah, I mean, what has the response been like so far? Because this is supposed to be, these exchanges are supposed to be up and running in October, so we have almost no time left. These positions haven't been filled. They're supposed to pay, in a lot of cases, I was seeing $15 an hour. I don't know that you're going to, I mean, can they find these people and train them this quickly for that wage? How's this
Well, it's going to be tough. They were supposed to have this training done in August, and even if they do it now, they're not going to really know the insurance plans probably till October 1. There's been delay after delay in this, and they're going to train them in some aspects. Then they have to go out over the next year and sign people up. Supposedly it's going to be, here's the laptop, let's go over the plans, you make a decision, and supposedly they're not going to make a recommendation. But you're going to have people who are going to have to struggle through that. Again, one of the great things about insurance agents, they do this, but here's another thing we're trying to find out. Is there anything in the law that says they have to protect that information?
Right.
Keep it confidential, and it isn't there. So that's why I'm introducing a bill, for example, that says that any IRS agent that gets into your records, it's a criminal penalty because they shouldn't get in your health records. What happens with the information the navigators collect? Will they save it? How will they keep it? What will they do with it afterwards? And those questions are still yet to be answered.
No, I mean, it does seem like we need to, I mean, at the very least, these people would need to have background checks because they're going to be exposed to your very sensitive financial and health information for you and your whole entire family. I know in 16 or 17 states they're talking about trying to have regulations and limits and rules about these people that would be hired for the jobs. How is that going?
Well, the states are going to work on that, and we are trying to find out what's happening now, too. I think there's going to be real variability between some of the plans. I think some of the plans will have very high standards simply because they're already healthcare agencies, and they're going to make sure that people have criminal background checks, their records are kept under lock and key. Other ones, not so much. And those are ones we're going to have to push to make sure that the laws are there for the standards, or we're certainly going to keep them under the microscope.
You know, I saw one quote from somebody who had already been given a federal grant and was in the process of hiring people. It was a company out in Maryland, and they said that it's just like selling Girl Scout cookies. They're going to go to the mall and set up a table and recruit people and sign them up. And to me, that's sort of terrifying because they're being paid with my tax to sign people up to spend more of my tax dollars, and they see it like selling Girl Scout cookies. What's your reaction?
That shows incredible naivety. I mean, look at this. I mean, when you talk to someone who's going to be selling you health insurance, you want them to be able to provide that information for you. What's the best policy? What does this cover? What does that cover? How does this work for me? But basically, people are just going to say, here, look at this computer screen and make a decision. That's not what people want for some of the most important insurance that they're going to buy. So I'm quite worried about this, that they're not going to have the credentials, and, well, still a lot of questions left unanswered.
And how is that training done? I mean, there has to be rules around that. I've personally dealt with a navigator, you know, related to health plans that my family has been on. You call them and they have a very detailed and intimate knowledge of the product. They can anticipate for you. You say, well, if I choose this plan and then this happens, what's my deductible and what am I paying and what's my exposure? And those are a lot of contingencies and moving parts that they have to understand and be able to explain. I don't know that you can hire and train someone who's going to be that knowledgeable for, you know, on a temporary basis for $15 an hour. They're finding them at the last minute. I don't know.
Precisely.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to be very difficult to get that, particularly because they won't even have products probably until October 1. They have to start selling these products on the same day that the products are released. It's sort of like that adage we were told before: you have to pass the health care bill to find out what's in it, and now it seems you're going to have to buy an insurance policy to find out what's in it or to sell it. Not good. We're going to keep pressure on this. I know last week the Wall Street Journal wrote an editorial on this because some Democrats were criticizing me for having oversight over this, but we've got to do this. A lot of money is at stake here, and a lot of people's personal health information is at stake.
All right, Congressman, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your time.
You bet.